What a remarkable review of milk thistle. What the researchers did here is look at over 5,000 studies, which they really basically focused on 349. And of the 349 high quality studies which they looked at, they basically analyzed the outcomes, the endpoints per se, the dosaging, so on and so forth, and found out that milk thistle is quite profound in its impact when the research is done correctly. Now, we're not looking at selection bias. So, for example, often research will look at the blood levels of milk thistle upon being consumed. 6 hours later, not seeing very much in the blood, so the assumption is right off the bat that milk thistle is being poorly absorbed. Not realizing the enterohepatic recirculation that milk thistle goes through, it actually goes to the bile, then through the intestinal tract, then begins to do its job as proteostasis as far as apoptosis, healing cells in the liver, and so on and so forth, and the reduction in inflammation. And then certain studies were just too short. Well, if you go over 90 days, this process of cellular reconstruction becomes quite remarkable. So without further ado, let's get into the study itself. And again, this is a 43-page study, mathematically flawless, information dense, but kind of tough to read for the layman, but we're going to do our best here in under 10 minutes. So please forgive me if I speak kind of fast as well. The 40-year myth. Again, to reiterate, they're looking at these studies. They're going, where is this milk thistle? We're doing the test. 6 hours later, we're pulling blood, and we're not seeing any sign of this herb in the system. Well, because it's not there. It was in the bile. And that's going to give you a huge clue on how to best consume milk thistle as well. The plot twist, again, where it's hiding, the enterohepatic recirculation, bile, intestinal tract, and then if it gets through special packaging, it gets transported to the areas where it's needed for the repair to be done, reduction in hepatic inflammation, and all the wonderful markers becoming more favorable. All right, the new reality. Again, it's not just covering something up. It is like a cellular software update. So without getting further ado into that, let's get into the study. Further into it, let's get into some of the results. Look at the ALT reduction, look at basically the AST reduction, and look at the survival rate as far as the green bar going all the way up to the top over the placebo. That's quite remarkable. Again, from 39 to 58% improvement per se is quite substantial. Improving 4-year survival, I should say. But again, you have to take it, you have to be patient, and then what to expect. It has to be realistic. The metabolic shift, the reduction in the hepatic inflammation, as you can see there, is quite profound as well. Again, feel free anytime to pause, look at the charts as you see fit, because we're going to be moving really fast. The study itself, wonderful study. Silymarin, a research review, I should say, of the studies. Silymarin as a redox signaling and proteostasis modulator. Again, don't worry about knowing the terms right off the bat. There'll be a glossary at the end, but we're looking at apoptosis combined with protein reconstruction. Silymarin, a flavonoid-rich extract of Silybin marianum, is among the most widely used botanicals for liver support in contemporary practice. People use it for metabolic-associated steatotic liver disease, alcohol-associated liver disease, and other inflammatory liver conditions, and alongside other dietary changes, exercise programs, and standard pharmacotherapy. Despite decades of publications, translation remains uneven because trials differ in product quality, dosing context, adherence patterns, and the endpoints chosen to define the meaningful clinical improvement across countries, clinical settings, and diverse patient populations. And I'm going to skip the second paragraph and went into the conclusion of the study because, again, this is a beautiful, I should keep on saying study review, but it is really packed. And I mean, like packed. That's where the mathematical flawless comes in. So there is a graphic to give you all the benefits that they discovered that were profound in regard to looking at these other reviews. So that's pretty nice. Now let's get right into the statistical analysis of the statistical analysis. Silymarin, the spatial proteostasis modulator. The hepatic LT reduction and that 4-year survival is quite profound. Doesn't mean it can be improved later on, but now that we're getting an idea how milk thistle works, now it opens venues to other doors of possible modalities as far as treatments. All right, 349 pivotal trials of the 5,000 looked at, trial durations between 12 to 48 months, and so on and so forth. All right, as we proceed forward, now we're going to go into the takeaways. I'm going to read you just a simple you have the science, and then you have basically the translation. So we're short on time. I'm going to read the translation. If you want to stop and look at science, Go for it. All right, the Trojan horse. Blood test showed a low absorption. It's tricking us. The body isn't failing to absorb the medicine. It's securely packaging it. Instead of letting it float randomly in your blood, the liver boxes it up, basically, this is very simplistic, and ships it directly down the bile ducts to the exact location of the inflammation. That's milk thistle. How it knows to use this tool the way it does is for future studies. To proceed as follows. Number 2, the microbiome is the master. It requires fiber and also some fats to get that bile going as you're consuming it to maximize it. The gut bug dependent. Silymarin is a locked box and your gut bacteria hold the key. See, that's the thing. Everything else we always look at the blood. How does it affect the blood? How does it do this? How does that? They're not recognizing that often the microbiome, now we are beginning to, plays a huge factor in a lot of elements that we're not really understanding how that plays a part in that puzzle. The medicine sits completely dormant in your intestines until specific healthy gut bugs chemically snip off its packaging, releasing an intense burst of healing exactly where it's needed most. Fiber feeds the process. So basically the microbiome benefits of fiber and the benefit of milk thistle. All right, to proceed, the hormetic stress response. Instead of just fighting inflammation directly, it gives the liver cells a tiny harmless stress test that trips your cellular alarm system, forcing your body to mass produce its own internal heavy-duty antioxidants to upgrade your defense grid. It almost sounds like milk thistle is more than just a plant per se, but in a way, a very friendly software. To proceed, the autophagy via the coupling, all right, TFEB coupling, it's just a quick painkiller. Over weeks and months, it commands your cells to build more garbage disposals, the lyosomes. It physically eats up and recycles the toxic fat droplets and dead cellular parts, apoptosis we talked before, clogging that fatty liver against the improvement. And a lot of these studies are 28 to 40 months. Who knows how it works after 5 years? To proceed. All right, the chronopharmacology. It works, so you take like one dose, and it continues to do its job over 48 hours. So it's not like, so the weird part about it, here we're looking for the blood, 6 hours later, we don't see anything. It's hidden there in the background, doing its basically, a Wizard of Oz behind the curtain thing, and basically making miraculous improvements. First, it hits the gut for a quick targeted strike, then it gets recycled back to the liver to turn the volume down on inflammation. Finally, over the next 40 hours, the leftovers trigger a deep cleaning of your liver cells. That is pretty amazing in the translational outcomes. What to look for? The hard clinical proof. When taken properly with food to stimulate absorption over several months to allow physical healing, several months, 7. It drops liver damage markers by nearly 30% and drastically increases life expectancy in severe disease, according to the review of the studies. The protocol and the hacks. What you do, you take the foods that trigger bile excretion. The fiber helps with the beneficiation of the microbiome, which benefits utilization of the milk thistle itself, and you got to be patient, 90 days or so. And the dosages, I think, was between 240 and 720 between the studies, but you get the idea. All right, now, to hear this long, we get into the details real fast. I'm going to go super fast. All right, because this is more for healthcare professionals and so on and so forth, and they tend to freeze the frames as I'm speaking anyways. The provider's playbook, healthcare professionals, there's the dosages, there's how is often utilized in the studies, the contraindications, and the clinical tracking. So you see right there, basically the 240 to 720 divided 2 to 3 times a day. All right, consider with meals, fatty meals best, with fiber consumption as well. The 3-window framework, it should be the 3-window timeline framework, 0 to 2 hours, 2 to 8 hours, 8 to 48 hours, shows mechanisms over a single dose over a 48-hour period of time. So it's not just, it's just consume and gone. It's basically consumed, does its job for 2 days, then gone. All right, proceed forward. The deconstruction, the proteostasis, again, the microburst, we're looking at basically a form of like protein healing, apoptosis. Again, with respect to your time, I'm going to proceed forward. The efficiency paradox, this we're looking at the bioavailability. I don't want to overcomplicate it for the general populace right there, but this gives you an idea as far as the bile route mechanism and so on and so forth. And, that low silymarin in the blood can be misleading. The decades-long blind spot, why did we miss it for so long as a research community? This was the plasma fallacy. It was a big one, which works with standard pharmacology. But however, though, when you look in the blood, the Petri dish illusion, if it needs the microbiome and it needs the fiber, basically, in the bile, then putting it in a Petri dish is not going to do you much good. The 6-hour cutoff, too fast, what the heck? All right, so you see what's happened. 8 to 48 hours, it tends to work. And so 6 hours doesn't do it justice. The landmark trial ledger, some of the null findings, they found out the outcomes looking at its biases or confounding. They may have been discovered later on. But here's a few of the highlighted studies to review as follows. The statistical validity of the research or the review itself, really good clinical weight, strong, great review. And again, proceeding forward. All right, the synthesis engine, the paradigm, the exclusion filter, the analytical lens. Again, it's the heterohepatic recirculation. Again, I know I'm losing you right now, but we're almost done. All right, and basically the glossary or dictionary. And there you have your proteostasis, protein homeostasis, the cellular process of maintaining healthy proteins and clearing out damaged, misfolded proteins and cellular trash like toxic fat deposits, fat droplets, and dead mitochondria. Ooh, dead mitochondria, scary for those bodybuilders out there. But however we have it, it is an incredible, incredible review that now leads us basically to, oh, where is it? Here, before I forget, a good study. So you're looking about $2.5 to $3 million to do a really good study. Now that we know more of the mechanics of it, now we know what to look for. Again, was it Einstein said it's not so much the answer, but knowing the question to ask? Well, now we know the questions to ask, and now we can really run some really good studies. So you got to give the researchers an incredible amount of credit for elucidating this, to just not let it just float out there and go, well, you know, there's great outcomes. We don't know why, so it must be in their head. No, it's not. It's actually in the bio. So, gratitude to the researchers. I am humble you watch and look forward to seeing what you and I both discover next week once again. All right, catch y'all next time. See you then. Bye.